because I knew Bill a bit. He gave me an interview for like an hour, and I always thought, you know, his extravagance and his tastes were, you know, and Gina said, you know, this guy would always, you know, he would make all kinds of demands, like the hotel should have a pool and all this stuff. But I thought the funniest story that exemplified that was when him and Sean Delaney, when they were living together at the Olympic Tower in Midtown, spent so much money to renovate it so they could be on the cover of Architectural Digest in the around, I don't know, early 80s, but they never owned it. So they dumped all this money they had only to leave it for the next person. I mean, somebody told Bill that that there was, I don't know who it was, one of the accountants or something, actually it was Sean Delaney's brother who told me. He's told that to Bill. Bill, this person, I believe, is ripping you off blind. Here's how much. Bill says, I'll just make it back. You know, he was kind of delusional. And he was doing a lot of coke, I hear. So I'm just curious about your experience with all this.
Well, what you said is quite correct. Bill had taken on a very extravagant lifestyle, and he had the apartment in the Olympic Tower, and he did spend, at that time, a fortune, hundreds of thousands of dollars renovating it, and it was a rented apartment, which means he could never get it back. But, you know, that was sort of, you know, his creative instincts perhaps going a step too far, and it carried over into KISS, because a lot of the things that KISS did, which ultimately were good ideas and very sound creatively, really created big holes for them financially that they had a great deal of time digging out of. One of the reasons that the 70s were a problem for KISS is even though they had all these millions of records being sold and a lot of these shows did phenomenally well and they had all the merchandise and the hype from the movie, at the end of the day, they weren't nearly as wealthy as people would expect because a lot of it went to their head, and in the case of KISS, a lot of what it took to make them famous was spent to make them famous, and that meant there was that much left in their pockets.